So we have cruised down the Potomac and are back on the Chesapeake Bay.
Yes, currently in Solomons Island, and we're going to give you an update on our trip getting down here.
Staying on the path that I've chosen, straight up, come my way, and I'll see you at the top. 'Cause something's gonna happen in this story, and I can feel it coming, like the rising of the sun.
So we finally tore ourselves away from Washington, D.C. after a delightful and abundant 40 days there. So go look at our video for everything we did there.
40 days, 40 nights. DC probably could have stayed longer. It was amazing. One of the top stops in our entire cruising history. But, you know, every good thing has to come to an end, so we cast off.
So we headed back down the Potomac River because there's no going up it any further. Well, a little bit further you can go, but we decided to head back down because then you reach the fall line. So we wanted to integrate in some new adventures. We had left a couple of stops open on the way up.
But first, we wanted a little chance to recover from all the craziness of DC and catch our breath and have a down day, because those were very rare while we were in DC.
I think we managed like 3 down days the entire time we were in DC. So yeah, we definitely needed some recuperation time. And it was still pretty darn hot out. So we didn't quite want to go to a marina yet because that's not downtime. Usually that's social, that's getting out exploring.
Yeah, it's hard to force yourself to sit and relax when you're paying $100-something a day to be in a marina. You want to be out and take advantage of it. So we wanted some anchorage time, and one promising anchorage that we had seen on the way up was basically just on the opposite side of the river from the Mattawoman Creek that we stopped on our way upriver was Occoquan Bay, and in particular we saw it was a really calm day. We cruised down, and there's a place called Holiday Island. It's this teeny tiny, ridiculously small island in the middle of the bay that a whole bunch of boats on weekends sometimes anchor around and party, and I guess they sometimes have once a year they have a big concert on the island. The island's only big enough for the band and all the boats watch. But yeah, it was like, let's pick that as an anchage.
Yes.
And catch ourselves.
Yes. So it was still hot out, so we did have to run the generator a lot to keep the air conditioner going. But we managed, we were there for 48 hours, and we only managed to need to run the generator about 18 and a half hours for the entire stay. So we would just run it, get the batteries up to about 100%, then let the batteries run the air conditioner.
And we could even run our air conditioner, because it was way too humid to sleep without air conditioner, really. And so we even ran our air conditioner overnight off of batteries, and then would be down to next to nothing in the morning and top it up with the generator. So it's a great hybrid of having generator plus the big lithium batteries and inverter to really maximize our air conditioning time without needing constant generator time.
Yep. And the solar would,
help some.
That's how it helps spread it out. But there's no way you're running the air conditioner entirely off of solar, at least not off our solar system or our air conditioner. But it was a pretty good balance, and definitely a lot cheaper in the fuel expenditure to run the generator, because we get about 0.3 gallons per hour. So 6 gallons of fuel versus marina night. So definitely cost efficient that way.
Yeah, so we did enjoy our time out in the bay. We got some swimming in. This is still far enough upstream that the jellyfish aren't everywhere, and just relaxed some, caught up with some, just getting organized and getting our breath. And then, but the second night there, we were reminded this is a wide open anchorage, and the wind started to pick up, and it got a little bouncy again, and there was a storm forecast to be coming as well. Big storm, actually.
Yep. So a cold front coming through. Hooray. We're still reaping in the benefits of it. So thank you, cold front. But it was predicted at the time to be, it could have been a lot of rain and potentially a lot of wind. So we knew we wanted to get out of that open bay, and we wanted to get to a dock or something more protected. And we had skipped doing Occoquan on the way upriver because we love Matterhorn so much across the way. Matterhorn. It's not Matterhorn. Yeah, okay, whatever. Mattawoman. It's Mattawoman. So we loved that one so much we had skipped Occoquan on the way up. And
I've heard Occoquan is a really adorable town.
Yep.
But the challenge with Occoquan is there's 4 marinas in the way to it, but none of them, only really 1.5, 2 of them have walking distance to the town. Everything else has got major highways going through that don't make it practical to get to town. So we called around and found one at the marina that is actually closest to walk to town. We had a spot available, and it's fairly reasonably priced. And we did that. We could have stayed at the town dock. The town has a small courtesy dock that is.
It's not courtesy dock, it's
Well,
paid.
well, it's for people coming into the restaurant and stuff. It's like a certain price for the day, or like $35 to stay overnight with power. But it's only got space for one boat our size, and we didn't want to hog the dock for 2 days. So
Right, and it is down a no-wake zone. It's about 4 miles down. So there is this risk that you go down there and there's no room.
Yes,
and then you
there's
have
only
to circle
space for one
back, and then you have to hope that one of the marinas has space for you. So we preferred going in not with the knowledge that we had a slip waiting for us. So we did stay at Prince William's Marina, which typically doesn't offer transient space all that often.
The transient space is space available, and they had space available for us. But they're not a transient focused marina, but they're the only one that has got a reasonably easy walk to the cool parts of Occoquan.
0.9 miles.
Yeah. If you stay at any of the other marinas, don't try to walk. Just take your dinghy up to the town dock and
or
Occoquan that.
Or get an Uber.
Or get an Uber. Yes.
So it was great to get the bikes off as well. So we did use the bikes to get into town. We went and explored around. We went up to the old Occoquan workhouse, which is where the women's suffrage protesters were held and force-fed.
1920s. Yes. This is a historic place. This is the old DC Museum, and then actually we went toward the Suffragist Memorial because we didn't have enough memorials in DC.
I know we were going through withdrawal from museums and memorials.
And I didn't even know this was there until I started panning around on the map. But this is a very important memorial that marks the turning point in the suffragist movement and winning women the right to vote back in Woodrow Wilson's age in the 1920s. And or the fight was ended then, but yeah, it was like a multi-decade fight to get a basic right.
It's a great memorial there that tells the story, and of course, up the street was where the prison was, where the women were held. We were able to paddleboard right across the way to the women's suffrage thing, and they also have nice trails there for running and walking. And then we did get into town several times. There's some nice restaurants in there. We love the Thai restaurant, and there's a crepe restaurant that does gluten-free.
Yeah.
Couple a tap house and
there's
things
a
like
tap
that.
house and a decent Mexican restaurant and stuff. So it is a cute town. It is definitely worth the diversion to go check it out. So Occoquan is cool. Wish it had a little bit better pedestrian access, because if you want to go to the grocery store, the grocery store is not pedestrian or bike accessible really at all because of the highways and major roads.
So we were going back downriver, and my birthday's coming up. So we wanted to go somewhere to celebrate, but it was like, okay, where do we want to be for my birthday? And we thought about going back to Colonial Beach. We did have a great time there on the way up, so we kept that as an option.
A lot of great restaurants there, so we kept that in mind as we headed down. But we did have time for one stop along the way. So one more anchorage, and it was another calm day on the river. And this time we picked
It's Fairview Beach.
Fairview Beach and Tim's 2 Restaurant, which is, I guess, a legendary Potomac River destination. This is a restaurant that tons and tons of people come to by boat primarily, and also by car, but by boat, and they raft up on weekends. So we were there on a Saturday, and we wanted to see what it was all about. And we also saw on their website we're having an Elvis impersonator band. So we're like, this could be fun. And we get there, and it is a zoo. There was at one place, there's like, I think 11 or 12 boats is one giant raft, and like probably 2 or 3 dozen other boats just all anchored around off the edge of the river by this restaurant.
And the restaurant has a pontoon boat, so they come around, they'll pick people up and take you back to the dock there. And of course, since we had our own dinghy, we could have just docked up there. Nothing on the menu that was of interest to us. So we just enjoyed, we kind of anchored off of the mayhem off and on our own and watched and enjoyed the music on board.
And then had Elvis music in a hot tub while we floated. And then after the band ended, the big raft up party cranked up some really good EDM dance party on their boats, and so we just actually had our own little dance party because we couldn't go to sleep. And
just like you could either complain like old people, or we could join the party like old people. So we decided to join the party.
We were dancing on our decks and had a great time, and everybody was quiet and shut down by midnight. And so that was a fun stop. Again, it's not a protected anchorage, but it was a calm night, and it was a good spot to stop heading downriver. That was before Colonial Beach. Then the next day we decided to pass Colonial Beach and go all the way to Leonardtown again.
Yeah. Yes, because those gluten-free donuts that we had coming up is what called my name for my birthday celebration.
Yes. Okay, and also the farm to cone ice cream. So yeah, we went for the sweets for your birthday because you're so sweet.
But we did make a day stop, a lunch stop at St. Clements Island.
Yes, on our way into Leonardtown, we stopped at St. Clements Island, which is the first place the colonists coming to Maryland stopped with the Ark and the Dove ships. When they came across, they came ashore at St. Clements Island and then eventually went and set up their colony in St. Mary's City. But this is where they first came ashore, and it's now a state park, and there's a lighthouse there that is open for tours on the weekend.
It's a replicated one of the original one there, but they've done a great job, supposedly, I hope.
Of recreating this lighthouse. We got to go up to the top. And yeah, that was a cool lunch stop. It was too rough on now the winds were back, so it was no longer calm on the river. So it was too bouncy to want to stay overnight at St. Clements Island, but perfect lunch stop. And then we just continued into the protected Brenton Bay to Leonardtown.
Yep, and anchored same place we anchored last time. They do have the free docks there with power, and there was room for us, but we had this delightful weather.
No need for air conditioning.
So why go onto a public town dock when we can be out on our own in the middle of the anchorage and just dinghy in? That's our preference anyway, if we have the option.
And so then from Leonardtown, we had a really perfect weather because the
Well, first of all, there were donuts. We ate donuts. We ate ice cream, and we did eat at the front porch.
And we got some hill running in because
I love hill running. And then there's a natural food store there, so we got a little bit of groceries. Got a little bit of the groceries stocked up. Okay, now we can go.
Yeah, so now, we got to finish the Potomac River, and so our next stop was going to be Solomons Island, and the mouth of the Potomac, and sometimes people often consider it their roughest part of their entire cruising great loop. So we were excited to see that the next day was a perfectly calm weather window. We're like, let's take advantage of it. Let's not do any more stops on the Potomac. Let's do a 50-mile day.
Right, because we were thinking we'd go over to Ulverson's, which is the MTOA home port, and we get a free night there, and there's fuel there, and we were needing some fuel. Yeah. We decided to skip that and just take advantage of this great weather window where we wouldn't have to worry about anything, hopefully, with the mouth of the Potomac. And I can say that now. I'm not gloating.
So yeah, it was a cool day, calm winds, and just perfect cruising conditions. And it felt like we had the entire river to ourselves as we cruised. It was a Tuesday, I believe, as we cruised down and around, and it was just about perfect. And
then we're coming up the coast, and you come by, what is the naval air station over there that we came by?
Patuxent, the naval air station. And so as we were coming by there,
we got a call from one of the patrol ships.
The patrol boats, the patrol boat saying, "Hey, vessel passing Point No Point lighthouse. Call me. Let's coordinate." And they had to have us steer out of a bombing range or a test range because they were doing live fire weapons testing with an Osprey, and so we got to be witness to that. And it was super. The Navy patrol boats were super professional in directing us and keeping us informed and letting us know when it was safe to cross back in, and then we got to witness this military testing. So
they had this Osprey going around us, and so it was really, really fun to be able to witness that and cruise past it. Kind of breaks up a long cruising day. And then we pulled into Solomons Island, set the hook off of Molly's Leg, which is the first anchorage right in the center of town. Mm-hmm. It's not much of a town, but right near the tiki bar and everything else over there. So we did that for the first 3 nights.
Yes, we did 3 nights there. Got some time ashore. Solomons is I guess it is everywhere. It's just covered in docks and marinas, and there's anchorages up and down the 2 creeks. They're pretty protected. So it is a place. This is kind of the gateway between the southern Chesapeake and the upper Chesapeake, and so this is the marker point where all the boats basically pass through, whether you're heading north or south.
And I think almost every looper stops here and everyone transiting. It is a great break-off point from coming from the Norfolk area up into, before you go up into the Delaware and the Sandy Canal.
Yes, and there's a lot of restaurants ashore. Getting groceries here is actually kind of awkward. It's like a 2-mile walk to the very nice Weiss Market, but it's a walk down a very busy road. There's a sidewalk the whole way, but no convenient groceries, but a lot of convenient restaurants. A lot of them have dinghy dock access. And one of the things this town is known for is the Calvert Marine Museum, which is actually a very, very nice marine museum. And they restored and saved what had been the Drum Point Lighthouse that used to be out marking the point near here when it was going to be decommissioned. They actually saved the entire screw pile lighthouse and moved it into the museum. So you get this really cool, like a lighthouse on stilts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a neat museum. We got to tour that.
Definitely worth going to that as well. So we've enjoyed some dining. We did the Island Hideaway. We got several recommendations for that, and it was phenomenal.
Oh my God, such
great
good food.
vegetarian,
Pricey, but so good.
great vegetarian gluten-free lasagna. It was amazing. And yeah, so we did 3 nights here, very social. The harbor hosts here are amazing with the AJLCA. So we met up with 2 of them and had great times getting the lay of the land. With some other,
to the yacht club and
we
cheap
got
drinks.
some other cruising friends passed through as well that we met up with. So it's been a very social time. We got in some runs. There's some Dole Whip on, if you like Dole Whip.
There's Dole Whip to be had.
Yes, that's amazing. And then this morning we spent running around to a fuel dock. So we put some rent in the tank.
Right in the tank. And the town has a really nice a free pump out and water dock. And dinghy dock also, so it's the free place to get ashore, and
So we got
take advantage of that.
So all the tanks are back to reset for the next chapter ahead. So weather's looking good to cross the bay, and that is our intention for tomorrow.
So yeah, next stop we'll be heading over to Cambridge, Oxford, and St. Michael's area in the Chesapeake River. So
and other stops, and then after that we'll be exploring Annapolis and Baltimore, and then all the stuff up there. And that should bring us to the end of our cruising season, which we'll be looking for somewhere to store the boats sometime in October-ish, and then moving back to van life.
it's been quite an adventure. And yeah, even just this quick little trip down the river, there's been a lot of fun to be had. So see you guys at the next stop, I guess. Take care.
We create these videos just for fun, and we love having you along for the ride. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, or if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.